So I figured out that I must as well just start recording. Start somewhere. If you don't start somewhere, you'll never start. The start may not always be great. It would most likely, statistically, be, in most cases, bad for the most part. And why am I doing this? Why am I recording myself? Is it because I want to try something new? Is it because I am trying to log my memories in the form of audio so I can maybe go back to it, but in actuality, I won't, and I never have actually gone back to my past recordings. Like, ever. And while I'm speaking about that, talking about it, I nearly lost my train of thought, which I already have. So, the point of this whole recording, what is it? Am I Do I have a direction that I'm going to take it in? Am I supposed to hit a target audience? Is this for me, for others, for anyone? What is it? I don't know. Is it a selfish thing that I just do in hopes that someone listens to this and helps me? I don't know. Why did I just say that? Not sure either. My mind goes to places where I do not really understand and does not actually function when it needs to be. When I need to pay attention to somebody, I end up not listening to them at all because I am caught up with my own stuff, or if I'm simply not interested in what they're talking about, which in most cases I won't be present. But even if I'm in the presence of someone that I'm willing to listen to, willing to talk to, I can't necessarily pay attention. The wording over there was a bit weird, but it's me right now. I would say that is the toll of what depression takes on you. Uh, a long, treacherous journey of mental health and a lot of difficult circumstances that you're in that will result you being in this very state. Don't know why I'm talking about myself in this manner. It's strange. It's weird. But yeah, nearly lost a train of thought again. Now you get to kind of see my thought process, my functions, how it isn't normal. It doesn't come together cohesively. It bounces all over the place. Like when light hits water, it refracts all over the place. It's something like that. But the toll of mental health, it will affect everything that you are, and when you don't have the appropriate help, when you've taken all the wrong turns, and you've ended up even worse than where you've originally started. It's not a good thing. It really is not. So I guess my advice to maybe anyone listening to this is to seek help, speak out when you feel uncomfortable, even if just a little bit. Seek professional help. Seek professional help. Seek someone that you know cares for you. Not everyone will have the opportunity to do so, but if you do, it's worth a shot. In life, it's not fair. I personally have been very unlucky. I'm blessed to have a roof over my head, a caring family, but it's not enough. We'll get to that maybe later, but most likely another day. That's probably another topic that we'll tackle for another day that I'll probably forget. But seek help as soon as possible when you feel uncomfortable. Diagnose the situation as soon as possible and take the appropriate actions and steps to get yourself out of it, because it is a quick and devastating spiral that you would go down, and it's very, very difficult to climb up. A slippery slope. And I would highly recommend for anyone to avoid this. I personally wouldn't understand what mental health is if I have not gone through it, because I am not very smart. I am not. And people say that no, you're all right, but I really don't think so. With my memory failing me and my creative capacity in areas of art, music, video editing, and stuff, I haven't been having it good. Haven't been having it good. I haven't been having it. Well, I will continue with that. It's not going well for me. I hit a brick wall every time I want to think of something creative. It is probably due to how much stress that I'm putting onto myself. A lot of self-inflicted damage that has probably unconsciously caused me to shut off these creative functions of sorts. I'm not very kind to myself. I beat myself for not reaching my own personal expectations, which are impossibly high for a person of a low caliber like me to achieve. So when I do not hit it, I consider it as a failure. And when it is a failure, I beat myself up over it. And that's how it's been for 4 years. A very unhealthy time to do this. And I'm not exactly mentally strong, but, well, I am not completely lost or broken. I'm not completely broken in that sense. Some people don't even realize this. I guess one of the good things is that I can kind of reflect sometimes. It's a slow, repetitive process that might not even reap any benefits at times. It might even at times just result me in hating myself more. Hold on, let me get a sip of my Monster Energy. This is what is this one? The Mango Loco. One of my favorites from Monster. Absolutely fruity, tropical taste, and it's very sweet though. I wish it wasn't as sweet, but I love it. I love it. It reminds me of that one tropical Red Bull, the yellow one that they had. All right, sips are done. Completely, kind of. Well, not completely. I was talking about how I could have been completely lost, but I do some self-reflections. I can do that in retrospect when everything has already fallen apart. It's very strange and weird. I want to talk to people about this. I want people to understand my situation, but I cannot expect people to always understand. A lot of people that I have come across said that it's okay, that I understand and everything, but they don't really quite get it when they get to know me a bit more. They think that I am rude or difficult to deal with. I suppose that is true to a certain extent. I do put the blame on myself partly, but it's also in my situation. It doesn't really help. This whole thing. My mental health does not help in this scenario. I'm trying to change for the better. To what success? It is up for people to decide. And as for how I see it, it's not much. Something. It's not much. 4 years. 4 years. Wow. Yeah. It's a lot of time wasted. 4 years. If I want to be optimistic and say that I live to 80, 4 years is about 2% of that, right? If I do the math correctly, 2% for nope, that's too much. 2% too much. 4 years out of 80. That's probably 2%, right? Wow. I used to be pretty decent at math, but not really. 20. It's more like 5%. It's not 2%. It's 5%. Yeah, and 5% of 80-year lifelong time, your lifespan, 80-year lifespan. 5% is a lot of time. And note that you'd probably be doing a lot of what you're going to be doing in the first half when, probably up to 40, you're going to be very physically active and everything. I didn't really get to experience that. I didn't really have much of a childhood either. Not a lot of fond memories that I can go back to. I never really developed any sort of interests that carried on into my teenagerhood or teenager life for that matter. And only then I ever so picked up art. Just sketches as a hobby, but I wasn't very dedicated to it. Maybe for a bit. Yeah, but at the time it wasn't so much mental health, but dedication. But when I felt like drawing, I can sit down for hours and draw. That was no issue. Can't say the same for now when I can't even bring myself to a piece of paper or even to my iPad to sketch something simple. An idea in my head. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's yeah. It started in 2017 and lasted till present day right now to when I'm recording this audio clip of me talking to myself for whoever's listening. I don't know if you're listening. Good, I guess. I'm not sure how you're going to benefit from that. Maybe from that little advice I gave earlier, I guess. But 4 long years, I did not really learn much. A lot of what I've been through has dug my grave a lot deeper. Maybe grave is a bit much, but it's dug the hole that I fell into a lot deeper. And it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to climb out. There has been, there's a lot of weight on my shoulders, and I can already feel most, and hopefully not all of my energy being drained away from me, which is preventing me from getting out of this rut. At this point, only I can save myself. There's really nobody else that can really help me. The situation right now is COVID-19. You know it. Everybody's going through it. Not just me. Everyone. Literally everyone. It's a global pandemic. I had plans to go to Japan and work for, I believe, maybe 1 or 2 months over at a lodge or something. They would provide me accommodation. I would help them. And what I'd do in my own spare time when I had time, I would go around the area, record, you know, just what's in the vicinity. And hopefully, when I had a little bit more time, if I can make more time for myself, maybe like get a week of do whatever you want pass, I might head on over to the other prefectures and check out the sights and sounds that they have. That was back in April 2020, when the pandemic started to really set in, but it wasn't too big at the time. People getting awfully worried about it. My dad was against the idea, and eventually I wasn't able to go. So I've been stranded here since, like most people in their countries and homes. And Japan is currently has implemented restrictions to bar or all foreign visitors into the country. English is hard, despite it being the only language that I've spoken for most of my life. If that's it, something to do with confidence, something to do with I have not spoken enough. I don't know. It's weird like that. But yeah, back to my point. 4 years. It's been unfortunate. For the pandemic, it's whatever. Can't really do much about it. But the communities, the groups that I've surrounded myself with, prior to the pandemic, weren't exactly great company. The people that I was with weren't exactly understanding of my whole situation. And yeah, when things got bad, it got real bad, and it caused me to retreat into my own shell. It made me develop trust issues and a lot of other things that prevent me from interacting with people like a regular human. Yikes. So, yeah, deep hole that I've dug myself into. Energy is pretty much out of my system. The time now, Jesus, microphone. The time now is 3:36 a.m. A fucked sleeping schedule. All these little things adding up over the 4 years. It's not good. I've not been living a healthy lifestyle either. I've not been exercising. I have not been eating well either. Junk food. Left, right, and center. Lots of snacks and sweet drinks. Boy, I can tell you. You can have them. All right, no problem. But, keep it controlled. Keep it in check with exercise. You can treat yourself from time to time. You can, I don't know how much you consume snacks and sweet drinks and other unhealthy junk food, but just moderation in all things. That's a really good thing to live by. That's probably another one of my pieces of advice. All things in moderation. All things in moderation. Never too much, never too little of something. Strikes a nice balance. Yeah. I find that the reason why I learned so slowly is because I'm stubborn. People have offered me advice on how to improve, and I end up learning the hard way. Well, as for the situations that I've landed myself in for the past 4 years, that wasn't exactly the case, and no one really told me about it, how to avoid it, how it could have been better. I only discovered things in retrospect, which sucked a lot, because there is a lot of pain to go through processing, replaying all that information. And especially if you are a slow learner, the things that you can process in your mind very slow, and it's there. It's not something that I can briefly process and learn from it and analyze it and move on quickly, so I don't have to really have to replay the whole thing in my head. That's a terrible feeling. So if you can get these things out of your system as quickly as possible, learn from it and move on, please do it. It is really good. Harboring bad thoughts, negative thoughts in yourself is a toxin. You can hold it for a slightly extended period of time, but don't do it for too long. Like, again, moderation. I wouldn't recommend people to bottle up their feelings. And just, you don't have to necessarily talk to people to let it out. There are so many other ways to do it. How would you let off steam? Ask yourself. All this pent up frustration and thoughts or something. How would you do it? Maybe think of, if you are a creative person, an creative outlet to do in your art, your songs, your poetry, writing, and all of it. There is some way, I'm sure, for people who are more physically active. Take up a challenging physical activity. Exercising is one way to really get stuff off your mind when you really exhaust and tire yourself. This is general advice. I'm sure everyone. There will be people where it'll be very unique situations with them where this advice just doesn't apply to them. They have to find their own way out. They have to do a bit of soul searching, quite a bit of analysis, or not. Don't know how they are, to find out the optimal way to work it out. Yes. Yeah. Man, it's hard to keep track of whatever thinking. It's hard. I'm looking at the timer right now. It's 23 minutes and 39 seconds in. I can slowly feel my mind slowing down. Not like it wasn't slow already. It's slower than it started out, than it originally began. So, yeah, I think it's good to end it here. I feel like I have more to talk about. I think this is good enough for now. Yeah. So, thank you for listening. Take my 2 pieces of advice that I've probably already forgotten. I know the second one was everything in moderation. The first one was, if you need help, seek it. Professional help, please, as soon as possible. Before your situation gets worse, before you're too scared to even look for professional help. That doesn't even necessarily have to be professional help. It can be talking to a friend, a family member, someone that you trust. It's that easy. Or not, because there are definitely some outliers. But take those two pieces of information and hopefully somewhere, somehow, your life can be a bit better. Yeah, that's it for now. I don't know if I'm gonna make a second or a series to this thing, but I want to. But will I do it? We'll see. That's it for now. Bye bye.